most families don't break because of one big incident. They break because of the things people keep ignoring: silence, ego, expectations. And by the time people realize, it's already too late. That is why we always say, get aware with Fintolit. Welcome, Advocate Rakshith. We're really glad to have you here with us today. Let me start by asking you a very simple question. Are family disputes in India actually increasing, or are people just more open to talking about them now?
So see, Vana, the problem is that people, it's not a problem basically. People are more aware about their legal rights, what is going around. People are not resisting it. They are means coming across, they are for their rights and everything. And yes, they know they are not ready to means handle this pressure and everything. Yes, there have been an increase in the family issues and everything, and the cases in the courts are also increasing day by day. And it is more challenging because it's more in the sort of complexity and then emotional and everything. So the matters that are coming across with the new generation are more complex in nature.
So, when you look at marriages today, people assume that they fall apart because of something big like infidelity or abuse. But from what you've seen so far, what do you think is the actual cause of marriages falling apart?
So there cannot be a one ground of marriages falling apart. There are various reasons to it. So it's a mix of all. Means people are not speaking their mind out, they are not clear with the propaganda of their marriage, how to take away, how to take it forward and everything. So it's a mix of everything: emotion, financial stress and everything. So we cannot count on only one factor. There are many factors which apart makes the marriage fall apart.
So it's not just one moment, it's the small issues that keep building up. Silence is the most expensive mistake in families. And when things start going wrong, people often say, just file for divorce. Do you think it's really that simple?
See, getting a divorce from the court when you are contesting on the ground of cruelty, it is not very easy. It takes time. It totally depends upon which jurisdiction the parties are filing the case. And see, when you initiate a divorce proceedings, it is not only a divorce proceedings. It comes as a parallelly the whole ecosystem for litigation. When is example when a husband file a divorce case, there are fair chances the wife is going to file DV, custody, maintenance, maybe police complaints. So it's a whole litigation ecosystem. Getting a contested divorce from the court is not very easy. It takes time. Means you have to be very strategic. Means when you are filing a divorce case.
So, what people think is one case turns into many
Right,
court
right,
proceedings.
right.
So, marriages today is not just about emotional decision, it's also legal and it turns into financial decisions, one as well. Let me ask you something uncomfortable. Do people feel that family laws are misused during separation?
Yes, yes. Family laws are being misused. It totally depends upon how the matter is being taken up and everything. Because see, what happens in our Indian judicial system, for example, I will just demonstrate it via example. For example, husband has filed a divorce case. Obviously, the wife is going to contest it. When she goes to a lawyer or a court, she gets a package. An advocate or generally a legal professional suggests, ma'am, your husband has filed a divorce case, you have certain remedies to it. Why don't you go for maintenance? Why don't you go for the police complaints? Why don't you go for the dowry? Why don't you go this and that? So it's get very complex.
Okay, so the real issue is not the law itself, but how it is used. And when problems begin, people usually react immediately. From your experience, what is the first mistake people make in during that stage?
So when an husband and wife are having the clashes within a house, maybe a wife goes away or my husband goes away, means they have to be very strategic. Means writing across the messages to each other, which can be a record for the opposite parties going forward. So you have to deal with the marriage issues very calmly. Make some whatever you are writing, it should make some sense. Don't give any threats, and you should try to figure out for a resolution initially rather threatening your partner saying that no, I will do this, I will do that, I'm going to court, I will do that. So things should be very streamlined. It should not be an escalation matter. When something is happening, you should calm down and think over it and take your decisions wisely. Why you are putting across that I want to go court or means there's a resolution to it.
So, reacting emotionally in the beginning can weaken your position later.
Right.
And a lot of people say the marriage has become toxic, let's file for divorce. But legally, it's not that easy, right?
India, marriage is something very pious relationship when you are entering into a relationship. And when it cannot end automatically, means saying that no, the relationship is toxic. For filing the divorce, there are certain grounds to be taken. What cruelty is there? How much harassment level is there? Means are you not comfortable with your spouse, with each other, everything? Are one of the spouses under adultery? So there are different grounds. It cannot be only a toxic. You have to explain the court how the atmosphere within your home is toxic to you. What grounds to it? So grounds you have to take it in case you are filing for a contesting divorce.
So even if something feels toxic, you cannot still prove there are no legal.
No, so what I'm trying to say is that if the relationship or the environment in the home is toxic, there has to be some grounds to it. Means you should be able to prove it. How this relationship between a husband and wife is toxic in nature. With how? What grounds? Is your husband is in the adultery, or your wife is not performing good in the house? Performing in the sense means house chores or something, means what you have decided before the marriage and everything. Things are not going that. You have to give the grounds how exactly it is.
So you still need legal grounds.
Legal grounds, and every time I say to my clients that see, evidence is something which is very necessary.
Definitely.
Yeah, so I will give you a quick example to it. There's a dear friend of mine. We often meet, but when we meet, so he used to tell, see, I have some on and off on my relationship. There are ways, means how can I get out of it? So I usually ask why, what are reasons to it and everything. Then he said, no, each and every day there are same problems. So I told him, see, if you guys have this problem and you are not able to resolve it, and there are fair chances either party may go to court of law. So you should actually have some evidence so that you can show it that who is guilty, who is not guilty, how exactly this happened and everything.
So when it comes to timeline, people assume that divorce is just quick. But realistically, how much longer does it actually take?
So I will tell you, I will break down this issue in two parts. First is mutual and second is contesting divorce. What comes to mutual? In the past 2-3 years, I've been witnessing with the clients. See, it's a growing generation. Both husband and wife are well settled, they are earning well, they are working with a good company. So I have seen in major cases where a wife comes says that, see, I don't have any ego clashes as of now. I and him are unable to cope up under the same roof. And I want a separation. I don't want to stretch my life in court litigation for years and years.
Okay.
So in a new generation, what I have seen, people are quick, people can take their decisions and they go for mutual. And the other part, when I come to it, when you see there's a prolonged litigation in court, then there are two manners to it. First, there's an ego clashes between the husband and wife. They are not ready to settle. They are emotionally disturbed. They maybe want to take revenge and everything, or maybe there's a genuine case also. The wife have been harassed, or the husband has been harassed, and the only way for them is to go to court. But when you contest a court, I have been telling since inception from this podcast that there's a parallel litigation in matrimonial issues.
Okay.
So it takes time, it takes good time.
Okay. So after this, finances usually come in.
Yes.
And that is where a lot of confusion happens. If someone is well educated, can they still claim maintenance?
See, before answering the question, let us understand what is maintenance. Maintenance means where a wife is asking maintenance from a husband, saying that I am not financially independent to take care of myself. Even she is good in education or she has attained very good qualification and everything. What court sees, even you have a good qualification and you are in a position that you cannot maintain yourself, then in that scenario, yes, you can get the maintenance from the husband. So there are several factors to it.
Okay. And what about the other side? Can husbands claim maintenance too?
See, under 125, the maintenance can be sought by a wife, children, and parents. Okay. Technically, it is like that. But if we see under Section 24, it is being that a husband can also seek maintenance. But usually, we don't see such matters in court. We see that the wife has been asking for the maintenance, and maintenance case are generally being filed by the wife or unke parents या फिर their children.
So legally it's possible?
Legally it is possible, but we don't see much cases in the court where a husband has been seeking maintenance.
Okay, so it's not really common.
Right.
But what if someone is intentionally not working? Then what happens to maintenance?
But the spouse can file maintenance.
Okay, so court also looks into intent and circumstances?
Yes, there are various factors to it, why this maintenance case is being filed and what grounds to it. If you had good grounds, genuine grounds, the grounds which has been laid by into different judgments and everything, yes, you will get the maintenance.
Okay, so children usually come in after this. People assume that automatically custody mother के पास ही जाती है. But is it true?
So this is a myth.
Okay.
Frankly speaking, this is a myth.
Okay.
अगर आप ये प्रूव कर सकते हो कि अगर वाइफ के पास आपके बच्चों की कस्टडी है और शी इज इनकैपेबल, उनके पास कैपेबिलिटी नहीं है बच्चों को मतलब कि उनकी फॉर द ग्रोथ एंड एवरीथिंग, देन इन दैट केस कोर्ट कैन रीडिफाइन दैट सर्कमस्टेंसेस एंड कैन पुट अक्रॉस दैट हस्बैंड means the father should have this custody of the child. So it's totally dependent on the grounds. For example, a father has filed a divorce case also, and he has strategic proofs that his wife was in the adultery or having this extramarital affair and everything.
Okay.
So this can also be one of the ground in the challenging the custody of a case.
So fathers can seek custody.
Yes, obviously.
If the situation.
Yes.
Okay. And what about situations where one parent prevents the child from meeting the other? What happens then?
So the court procedure is very simple. अगर for example there's a child जिसकी custody उसकी mother के पास है, father wants to meet, he can file an application for the visitation right and court will allow it. See, when there's a child, there's a husband and wife, mother and father, then father has all the rights to meet the child. No one in this world can stop you meeting your child.
So that can actually work against the mother in
Yes.
cases. Okay. Now with everything going on digitally, people rely a lot on WhatsApp and social media, stuff like this. So can things like WhatsApp messages also be used in court?
See, electronic evidence can be used in the court subject to the admissibility of it. See, when it comes to this WhatsApp chat, communication and everything, see, एक husband wife एक घर के अंदर है and they are having this fights and everything, they are having this toxic relationship, how a person is going to prove if this situation is happening inside a home? Agar most of the families are nuclear families in Delhi NCR, other parts, people are living separately, there's no family member supporting them. Agar there's an abuse, how are you going to record it? Okay. Electronic evidence comes into place. Okay. And there are many cases jahan pe court ne rely kiya electronic evidence pe.
Okay.
Saying that कि ऐसी चीज हुई है, या wife or husband is in adultery or something like that, or husband is abusing wife or wife has been abusing husband. So it is, electronic evidence can be the part of your case.
Now with everything going on digitally, people rely a lot on chats and messages and recordings. So can things like WhatsApp conversations also be used in court?
See, WhatsApp chats, your communications, your video messages and everything can be admissible in court. Okay. Subject to its evidence record. Okay. For example, see, a husband and wife living under the same roof and they are living in a toxic relationship, or there's an abuse of either a spouse, then they can record it, and with the permission of the court, they can tender their evidence and things can be relied upon.
Okay, so even personal conversations can be used as
yes, they can be a part of your pleadings.
Okay. And adultery, people assume that adultery automatically leads to divorce, but it still needs to be proven, right?
Yes, everything needs to be proved in a contested case. When you are contesting a divorce, you are putting an allegation on your spouse saying that he or she is under adultery. So how it is under adultery, the onus lies on you to prove how it is, how your case exactly is made out.
So suspicion alone isn't enough. There has to be solid evidence behind it.
Right. There has to be evidence.
Okay. Let me ask you something real. Has matrimonial litigation today become less about justice and more about a bargaining power?
See, I have mixed answers to it. When a husband and wife are in dispute, they go through a lot of things.
Definitely.
So it's mix of reactions and mix of questions and mix of grounds and everything to it.
Okay. In many matrimonial disputes, the first battle is not in court, but it is about who gains leverage first. And that is probably what explains why people choose to settle. And do people choose to settle even when they believe they're right?
Yes, I have seen certain cases. See, why they choose is a big question over here. जब कोई husband होता है, he wants to get out of it. है ना? Means, and there's a prolonged litigation that is happening. He want to focus in his career, either spouse, maybe his husband or wife, they want to focus in their career, anything. So they try to cut down the litigation part and they want to settle it for anything, so that either parties can go and move forward in their life and everything can happen.
So in those situations, it is more about ending the conflict or escaping the process.
Maybe not escaping the process, maybe they want to get out of it.
Okay.
See, litigation takes time. Court takes time, as we already discussed. So why not, means I have to go this process, undergo for 5 years, 6 years, and maybe after 5 years there's an appeal to an order. So people think, can we cut down here? Means whatever happened is okay. Can we let it go and we can part the ways easily? So this is how it can be.
Okay. So if someone is watching this right now and they feel that something is off in their family, not big enough to act, but not small enough to ignore as well. So what should they do at that point?
See, the answer totally depends what an individual wants. If they want to, means communicate and close it there only, saying that, see, this is a problem, these are my priorities in life, ये मेरी ज़रूरतें हैं, ये चीज़ें हैं. Means what I feel is that an husband and wife should communicate to each other, saying that मेरे ये problems हैं, आपके ये problems हैं, this is how we can make things possible. And if even after that उसको लग रहा है कि नहीं, things cannot work out, then they can talk also for the mutual, if they agree. As I told you, the growing generation are looking for the mutual divorces. I see a lot of many cases. But in case there's an ego clashes and everything, then automatically this case will fall under the contested divorce or another proceedings only.
Okay. So if you look at everything we've discussed, problems don't become big in one day. They become big when you start ignoring them. And most people don't act early, they react late. And by then, it's already very complicated. So thank you, Rakshith, for being with us and sharing these insights with us today. It was genuinely eye-opening. So that is why we always say, get aware with Fintolit.
Thank you. The spouse